Hey guys, welcome to Nifty World. I'm Bex, and in today's video, we're taking on part 2 of your journey of how to find the best NFTs early. That's right, we're moving from all of the research that you've been doing across to the world of Opensea. And I'm going to be taking you through a little Opensea tutorial as to how I find my favorite NFTs and make that buying purchase. And then also looking at the gas prices and the gas wars that are going on and how you can manage that situation for yourself as well. Please note that this is not financial advice, and it's certainly not legal advice either. This is just taking you guys through my particular journey, and hopefully it will help inspire and educate you on how to do things in a simple but effective way. So if you do enjoy this video, please do give it a like. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also hit that bell so you get notified every time a new video drops. And of course, if you do want to contact me, either leave a comment at the bottom of this video or you can follow me at Nifty World on Twitter. But for now, let's dive right in. Hey guys, welcome to Opensea. So this is the most used marketplace platform on the Ethereum blockchain. I'm going to run through kind of the key things you need to look out for on this, and we'll go through and look at the kind of buying process that I take as I decide which NFTs to purchase. So first thing you want to be doing is connecting your wallet. Now, this is the icon here to show that when you've connected it. You can connect lots of different wallets, from MetaMask, which is one for the most basic and entry-level uses, which is fantastic. And a lot of people do use this. Maybe you're affiliated and you buy your crypto from a specific place like Coinbase. That's the one I use on here. But all you need to do is add the Chrome extension to that and then connect it up to Opensea. It does a pretty simple walkthrough, but that's kind of step 1 for you. And I will do a separate video on all the different wallets and what to connect it to and how to do that. So if you really need to go into that in more detail, then stay tuned. Next, we have your links to your profile and everything that you've got going for you in particular. So your profile, you can find all your details. You can update everything about you. You can look at your collections. If you favorited anything to keep an eye on, then obviously you can check that out. Then you've got your account settings and the login as well. I actually think that Opensea are really, really helpful. They've got lots of great resources here. They've got a blog. They've got their own Discord. So if you do get really stuck on this, I would definitely check out all of these resources and also the social media resources that they've got here as well. Now, here's where it gets interesting. For me, one of the first things that I do kind of when I get up and want to take a look at what's going on in the world is I check out the rankings page on the statistics toolbar up here. And this is where we're going to go to first. So here is your top NFT page. And I think this is a really interesting chart to take a look at first, because it basically shows you the rankings of all of the NFTs that are on the Opensea marketplace. Now, interestingly, we have seen Loot, which hasn't really featured that heavily before, over the weekend had a massive surge. And this is actually showing the next step for NFTs and how big gamification is going to be. And Loot for Adventures has gone up a whopping 4,500% over the last 7 days. It's nuts. So what you're looking at here is you're looking at what the collection is. So the brand name, the name of the NFT, how much has been traded, what's happened within that trading in the last 24 hours, and what has happened in the last 7 days. You can adapt that to go and have a look at the last 30 days or all time. It's completely up to you how you want to do that, but you have the opportunity to do that as well. You also have the floor price here. So this is kind of the very lowest price that these are going for. And a trend when it comes to, picking an NFT, investing in it, is you want to see that floor price overall go up, because it means everyone that's bought that NFT will see an increase in the price of what they've been paying. And that sort of sets the standard for what you can expect from other people buying your NFTs if you're deciding to sell it. You also want to have a look at the number of owners that are there and also the number of assets that are available. So the number of owners, I'm going to go into a bit more detail about that in a minute, but that is very, very important because it shows that it's not, the market isn't being manipulated by too few owners. And then the number of assets is how many different products are available. So this is really impressive. If there's only 7.8 thousand products, and yet we're seeing a volume of, wow, yeah, this is just nuts for Loot. So this is pretty impressive to see. Most asset numbers are around the kind of 10k, sort of 20k mark, and anything between 10 and 12k I think is a good solid number of NFTs that a brand is producing or an artist is producing. Because if it goes up to say 2 million, so you can look at like the crypto kitties, for instance, they've got like 2 million different pieces. Your stuff is going to be one of many. You want it to kind of have as few assets as possible so that you have something that essentially is quite rare. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting little gauge for you when you're looking at this. In fact, when I first bought one of my NFTs from 8-Bit Universe, I saw it was trending at number 80 on here on launch. So I knew it was kind of already, before it was getting in the hype, it was already doing relatively well. So for me, it was kind of a solid bet. But you want to go into more detail of this. Now, one of the things I want to tell you about OpenSea is that a lot of people are obviously thinking about the art element of it. But actually, if you look here, there are so many different types of NFTs. And maybe you want to get into things like trading cards or sports. You can find all of this. I think just right now, the big thing around here is NFT art. And that's what a lot of people are looking for. But have a browse, see what takes your fancy. Remember, if you watched my first video about all of the research that you need to do, the big thing to remember on this is to buy an NFT that you actually like. Because right now, it still is kind of the wild, wild west. And you're not necessarily always going to get something that's going to make you a lot of money, especially as you're learning and growing in this space. Okay. So you also have your search bar up here, and I'm going to take you through one of my favorite NFTs that I've invested in and show you what it means to look into more detail as to what that NFT is and how to make a more informed decision. So I'm going to type in Cool Lady and see what comes up. There we go. Cool Lady Club. This is a relatively new NFT, but with a fantastic community, a really good floor price, and it's growing in terms of its owners every day, which is really, really good. So when you type in a brand or an NFT, I call them a brand because ultimately I think all of these will move into being essentially a growing brand, and they will have extensions on them. What you'll see is your filters on this side, and we'll go through that in just a second. And then you'll also see the items that you've got here. You also have the option for bundles. Not very many of these art NFTs do bundles at the moment, but it's always useful to see. And then you can obviously check either how you want to filter this down initially. So normally I look at what is the lowest price first, so I can take a quick look at it. And ultimately, I love the artwork for this. I think it's brilliant. And as you can see here, really good floor price at 0.002, which is really cheap. So I would say if you are wanting a little top tip from me, I'd say get in with these ladies, these very cool ladies very early, because I do think they're going to take off. Okay, so as I mentioned to you guys before, it's good to get a number of items that are going to be few and far between, because if it does kind of get some momentum behind it, then you know that you're going to essentially be able to get something that's relatively rare. So the Cool Lady Club is only going to do 1,999 items in total, which is really, really cool. It gives you a bit of a mission statement here as well as to what they're all about. You can find out more about them by following their Twitter, their Discord, going to their website, and also looking at the general activity. We're going to come back to that in just a second. But up here, what you're getting is an overview. And this is really important. Quite like with the rankings page, you want to be looking at this in more detail. Now, bear in mind when I'm talking about this particular NFT, they are still quite early. And so I'm taking a little bit of a punt based on my own sort of research in general as to where I see this going. But some of the statistics here that I would sort of suggest you look at are going to be slightly skewed with this particular one, but I will show you maybe another example of what you want to specifically look for. So here we've got like 2,000 items, which is in line with what they're saying. So 1,999 items in total. That makes sense. You obviously cross-check that with your research as well, making sure on the Discord and also the Twitter that through line of what they're putting out is real, because there can be so easily so many different copycat OpenSea pages. So you really have to make sure that before you part with any money, you are definitely doing it with the right account. Okay. Then you want to see how many owners there are. Now, for 2,000 items, 119 owners is okay at this stage. What you're looking for is to have about a 40% ownership. And the reason is, and I know this is a little bit below it, but the reason for doing that is to make sure that the market isn't being manipulated. And what I mean by that, simplifying that in even more simple terms, is to make sure that it's not like 5 people that have bought all of these NFTs, because how are you going to build a community around that? You need to have a number of different people buying the NFTs to grow and build this community together. So that is really important to look for. The floor price, as I mentioned before, is going to tell you what the lowest price for these are. And what's really exciting when you are sort of buying into an up and coming NFT and they are really engaged with their community is that they will build the excitement amongst their loyal fans to say, hey, you know what? Coming up, we're seeing the floor price lift, and that's brilliant. And that means that other people have bought and sold at a higher price, which is pushing that floor price upwards. And then ultimately, you're seeing how much volume is traded in Ethereum as well. So you'll get an overview as to what the expenditure on this particular NFT has been. So as you can see here, we know through our research that she's got a website. It's all very aligned. So there's a mission statement and a roadmap on the website. She's got a really good Discord and also good Twitter account and is very, very proactive. So that is one of the first reasons when I was doing my research that I wanted to buy into the Cool Lady Club. And then also the artwork is super cool. I really love this. I love how they've turned this around. And actually there are, so many different varieties that if you are just wanting to buy it because you love the artwork, I'm sure you can find something that will resonate with you. For me, when I'm looking for what to buy, it's as an investment, right? So for me, I go straight onto the filter section here and look at all of these different tabs. So I'm just going to reduce these tabs so you can see. And obviously these differ from NFT to NFT depending on what the creator has decided to add in. But ultimately, you can look at the status of them. For me, I prefer to look at a buy now opportunity, particularly if it's a new NFT. And I'm going to press that button to filter these down. And you can see it filters it here. The reason why I do that is because if I was to put in a bid to hopefully get an even cheaper NFT, I still have to pay gas to put in a bid, which was quite a shock to me. So I just want to make sure that if you are dabbling in this and you can find a low enough floor price on the NFT you like, it's probably worth just getting ones that are buy now, particularly if they've minted quite recently and you can still get it at a really decent price. It's worth doing that to avoid the additional gas fees, because even if your bid doesn't go through, you're still paying those gas fees, which is nuts. So until that gets sorted out, it's a crazy wild west out there. So these are all the ones that are on buy it now at the moment, and you can see super cool, lovely, cool ladies that we've got here. Now for me, I then want to dig a little bit deeper. So, you can obviously put in the price that you want to pay in dollars to find that equivalent. Or what I like to do is find what I'm looking for here. Now, this is by filtering everything down, the best way to do this is to look for, the rare items that you're after. So one of the ways that I like to do this is to go through each of these and try and work it out. So I'll scroll down here, and as you can see, red pop art, there are only 11 of these, and yellow pop art, there are only 7. Imagine if these were still available. One is, but look at the price. So someone has already snapped it up and has done their research and has already put it up as a price of 1.5 ETH. We know that that is rare. So that one's already up there for sale. So I'll take that one off. and see if there's any under yellow. No. Oh, yes, there is. And this one, as you can see here, is priced at 0.7. So again, because it's rare, it's obviously got a higher price point. So you can filter it down that way. But if you're willing to pay that price, you can buy it. We then look at other elements and traits that might make this particularly rare, because this is what you're after, right? So you can, when I say it's rare, what you can see here is you can see all the different designs, and this is to do with the clothes. And you can see here there's 229 pink spaghetti bodycons, but if we scroll down, the orange crochet tops, there are only 34. So I've scooped up 2 of these orange crochet tops, and there are still some available. How amazing is this? So look, top tip for me, get in quick. So the reason why I think this is important is because, again, you're looking for these slightly rarer traits. So these tops are rarer. So that's what you want to be looking for. So let's team that with something else. Maybe there are some slightly more rare earrings. So let's have a look. Yeah, any of these like kind of lower ones. A ring. Nope, there's nothing there. Tassel. Let's see if we, nope, no tassels available. What about green tassel? Nope. So then we just kind of work our way through to see, here we go. So then this is the most unique one with that combination. So we've got the triple rings, and then we've got the green top. Okay, so those ones are available, and again, still at that floor price of 0.02. So you can basically go through all of these, trying to filter down what is the rarest trait. Now, if something is just minting and you haven't seen the collection beforehand, and it's going to be like super quick to buy the NFT because everyone's going to be rushing in for it, you might not have this luxury of going through things. But on the secondary market, once it has minted, if you are savvy enough to kind of go through and spend your time looking at the right ones, then you'll be able to find something hopefully a little bit more rare than just going and purchasing for the sake of it. If you are looking for that investment. The other thing to do is have a quick look up here at activity. So this is what I think is really interesting, is that you want to see an upward trend. And this is the last 90 days. So let's have a look at what's been happening in the last 14 days. So you want to really look for a bit of an upward trend. And I think around the time that I initially bought my first couple of NFTs from the Cool Ladies Club, she was on an upward trajectory. And that's ideally what you want. There will be some bumps in the road, some days where things aren't going that well, and that's fine. But actually, this is still a really early NFT. I'll try and find another one to show you, which is a little bit more established. And what's useful to see is the level of sales that's going on. And this is all in the activity tab. And the reason why you want to be doing this is because you want to see that there are actually sales. And don't get me wrong, I have been caught out on this. I have had problems where I have not managed to find the right kind of NFT. And that's been, my learning. So then I've gone in and filtered and understood this and had a look around Opensea a lot more so that I've got more confidence in the NFTs that I buy. And look, amazing. What we can see here is that there's a super rare NFT, which is an alien NFT with a speech bubble, if you can just see that. She's number 46, so again, really low down. That has actually sold for 1.3 WETH, which is wrapped Ethereum, which is incredible. So that only sold a day ago. So this is going to help to push that floor price up in the future, which is really, really exciting. So you want to be looking at that kind of stuff. And then you also want to be obviously looking at the trajectory. And if you have got your eye on any particular cool lady, let's go back to them. And let's go back to the collection. You then want to just triple check from a security perspective that you are definitely buying from the Cool Lady Club. Now, I mentioned before that there are some issues around actually having multiple dud and fake sites. So you want to make sure that you are actually buying from the Cool Lady Club. So this is currently owned by the Cool Lady Club because she's minted it. So you know who that is. There's been 10 views on this. It's your favorite. So you have the option here to buy it. Once you click on there, it will also tell you the price in dollars, if that helps kind of give you guys some stability in terms of knowing how much actual real life cash you're spending on this. And then again, you have the offer option, or you can buy it now. But with something at this price, I would just buy it now, snap it up. And then if we go down, one of the things I think is so important that you check is that when it says it's been minted by the right person, the creator. And if you are unsure of this, I would suggest that you contact the creator on Twitter, on Discord, and double check. Do not part with money if you have any sort of hesitation over who has created this in the first place, because, you know, this is the thing with the digital space. There's lots of people who actually can give you a fake account, and you just have to be really vigilant and do your research and make sure that you are buying the right thing. So, and also to make sure it also aligns with how long ago it was actually minted. Does that align with what the original creator was saying? So here are some really interesting pieces from the collection, again, that have been bought at the floor price and are now selling at a much higher price. These are your avatar NFTs. These are the ones that are, doing really, really well because they are so rare. I think there's only 26 of these, which is really exciting to see. So I think that is a really interesting kind of little whistle-stop tour to get you around. When you're going through the buying prices, I just want to show you that you will be asked to clarify and check all of the collection details, and you have to tick this box to say you have reviewed this information and it is the correct collection. And then you will be asked if you wanted to check out. Now, I don't have enough funds in my wallet currently to complete the purchase, but what that doesn't matter right now, because what I want to show you as well is something that I think will really help you. I want to show you the gas prices and what that means, because no matter how much this costs, if you are buying it on the Ethereum blockchain, you are going to have to pay gas. And there are clever ways in which you can purchase your NFTs without having to pay too much gas. And it's about checking what that is. So my next slide that I'm going to show you is this. This is gasnow.org. This is something that I have up on my desktop like the whole time, because you can probably see in the tab up here, this is telling you what the gas price is at this time. Oh, and it's just changed, right? So it can show you how it can change really quickly so that you can look at this and go, when the gas is reduced, I'll buy it, you know, as long as you're not kind of under the cosh with having to get something because everyone else is running towards it. But something like the Cool Ladies Club, it's giving you some time to still be able to purchase some really the right kind of price and timing for you. And here you can see what it's like. And on your wallet, you will have the option of adapting to slow, standard, or fast, or even rapid, right? If you're not in a rush, click on the slow button on your MetaMask or your Coinbase wallet and just pay as little gas fees as you can. What that means is that it might take about 10 minutes for your purchase to go through. And yes, if you're thinking about it, in theory, someone could just swoop in there and go and grab that from you and, you know, put it onto the blockchain a hell of a lot quicker. However, normally, if you're going through this process and you're just buying an NFT which hasn't got a huge amount of demand at that moment, you should be okay. And I hate to say it, but about $76 right now is actually quite a good price for gas right now, which is nuts. I remember a few weeks ago, I was looking at this and going, I'm not paying $50 for this. I'm not paying $25 for this gas. How, if only I knew, I would have swept the floor with a load more other NFTs at the time. But c'est la vie, this is where we're at right now. And I'm going to show you something down here. You can see the estimated cost of transactions that's happening. But if we go down to the gas price tables that we've got here, this is nuts, okay? You can see here, based on your universal time zone, when the best time has been to buy something because the gas has been lower. So we can look here and you can see on Sunday at around 9 a.m. UK time, it was only $49. 11 a.m., $45, right, to get your gas. These would be optimum times to go and buy your NFT if you can. Not when it reaches to 9 o'clock at night on a Monday. This was last week, and it was $538, right? If it's costing that much more than what your NFT is worth, is it worth doing? I mean, do you really, really need to have that? You've got to be pretty sure of what your purchase is. So there we have it. You have your cool ladies, you have your process in which to filter and look for it on Opensea, and you also have a little bit of a checker for all of the gas as well. Well, there you have it, a very useful little trip through Opensea. This has been a bit of trial and error from my part, and now I think I've got it down, I understand it. I've made a few mistakes in the past as to buying NFTs too early without finding those all-important, slightly rarer traits about them. So I hope I've saved you a lot of time and energy to finding the right NFTs for you. If you loved this video, then please do give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and of course hit that all-important bell so that you don't miss the new drops of my all-important, useful videos for you. And of course, if you want to contact me, leave me a comment below, or of course you can contact me at Nifty World on Twitter as well. I'd love to have your company. But now, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.